So, to be honest, I don't know if I continue this series or not. It just, I have this saying, it's just. You can put any word you want on at the end of that sentence. Come here. Come here. It's your mother's birthday. Come here. Go. Bye. She wants no part of me. So I have this thing called it's just bad, just horrible, just good, just excellent, whatever you want. If my monitor's moving, it's because she's rubbing against it. So what do you want from me here? Oh, so anyways, welcome to the D. Louise book series. I'm Christina, Kristina. I could use some subscribers. It's my birthday month, and I've lost about 10 subscribers this week alone. I don't know what's going on. I had a splurge of subscribers last week, and not only did they new subscribers leave, but 5 additional more left. So would you stop rubbing my computer screen? So anyways, come here, come here. You're rubbing all over me. Come here. I know you hate the camera. You hate the limelight. So, I don't know if I'll continue this series or not because the heroine, she's not strong enough for me, I don't think. She's got this thing going, but she's just, she's so frustrating as all hell. She's not a Sky O'Malley, and she's not a Claire Beecham Randall Fraser. She's not any of the other women that I'm used to reading about. She doesn't have a backbone. She's so afraid of all these women are saying stuff about her, and she's cowering in the corner. It's just, she's supposed to be a heroine. She's supposed to be an investigator, and she's still cowering in the corner. It just, yeah. So I probably won't. I don't know if I'll do it. And it's weird that the second book is so hard to find, and the others are okay. So I may or may not do it. I don't know. I don't know if it's worth the effort. I have to see. So it's the Anatomist's wife. I'm not even saying the right. Anna Lee Huber. I took a break from Patterson. I'm gonna go right back to Patterson and go back to playing about Boxer. But and I was grateful that there wasn't any slang. And what I mean is, sometimes you read the Scottish or Irish books, and it's the Ken and the knee and the lass and all that kind of stuff. And I was glad this was just plain old English. But like I said, the heroine she drove me bonkers. She was so cowering in the corner. It just, she's a really good artist, and her husband liked to do autopsies, and he liked her to draw pictures of all the bodies and the organs and the placement, like a medical journal. And but she was accused of killing him, even though she wasn't even home at the time. And it's just, she wasn't strong enough. She was so busy cowering from the gossips in the room. She was so afraid to be in the room because she didn't want to hear them. She didn't stand up to any of them. She didn't put them in their place. She didn't. It just Lady Darby was just like, she's too wishy-washy for me. I don't think I'll go for this anymore. So anyways, there's this lady who gets killed in the beginning of the book, and they're having one of those, estate dinners, one of those big parties. This is in 1830 in Scotland, and if you read the Regencies, you know that all these people, all these society folks, the marquises and the dukes and the viscounts and the lords and the ladies and the sirs and the barons, they all come and they come for dinner, and then they spend the evening with dancing or cards or something like that. But because this lady was murdered, and so they have to stay. They're not allowed to leave the house until the magistrate gets there. And it's going to take 4 days. It's going to take 2 days travel out and 2 days for him to travel back for the magistrate to get there. In the meantime, this Lady Darby and this guy, Gage, Sebastian Gage, who is like an apprentice. I don't know. It really not said. Maybe an apprentice Bow Street potential kind of guy whose parents had done, his father had done investigations, so he's taking over in his father's footsteps. So they both they pursue this investigation together per the homeowner, Philip. So we've got these characters, and I started keeping, when I start a new series, especially one that's completely unknown to me, I make a little spreadsheet. And the problem is, you see the second column is like mostly empty, but that's because the people were identified. So what I mean is like usually with the Alyssa Maxwell, I had trouble with that one in the beginning because there was so many people. But once I kept my little spreadsheet, I figured out which people were important to pay attention to and which people were just like extras. And but at least I got some explanations. You didn't have much. We had all these people show up for this party, and so we only got to name a few. Sir David was Elena's brother-in-law, and Philip is the Duke of Norwich heir, and he is her brother-in-law, Lady Darwin's brother-in-law. And getting this stupid. So, and Lady Darwin's sister is Elena, and her husband is Philip, and then Philip's aunt, Lady Jane Hollingworth, is there, and her two kids. And then we have all these other house guests, and they're not really identified, if they're just neighbors or country people or whatever. And so that was just a little, I like to know who these people are and what the relationship is to each character, but we didn't get too much of that. So anyway, this lady is killed in the beginning, and so all the fingers are pointing at Lady Darby because of the prior incident. They all gang up on her. Look at this child. You see this child? Sorry. Smokey, you're showing the world everything. She'll wash her face and pretend to wash her face and pretend to wash her face and then put a paw under her collar and flip it across the room. I've only caught it on camera once. So anyways, so this lady is murdered and they all point their fingers at Lady Darby because of what happened with her husband. They all gang up on her instantly, even though she was nowhere near the person. And it just, have a little more respect for this lady. She needs to get, if you're gonna have a heroine be a heroine of your books, give her a backbone. Just give her some strength to be a respected person type of thing. I didn't like that these people were all over her the whole book. I just didn't like it. And that was one of the things that turned me off in the book. And not only that was this lady murdered, but because Lady Darby's been doing all this stuff with her husband, she's a little on the experienced side, almost, whatever. But she knows that the lady was instantly killed by the slit in her throat, but she was also gutted. Her child was removed. She was with child, and that just adds a little ease to it. And you're hoping for a relationship possibly with Gage in the future, which is something they can work on. But the overwhelming Lady Darby's wanting to hide in a room. Oh God, really? Bing, bing. Bing, 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 bing. 7. It's not 7, but she binged. So she does that every single video, regardless of what time of day I'm doing this video. She bings. If you check out my New Year's Eve video, I show her face. So, anyways, they're forever pointing the finger at Lady Darby. All these people, all the women in the room, always like, why do you keep gang? I don't like bullying. I don't like bullying, and I don't like them in my books. I just don't. I don't want my heroine, and they're always going, "Oh, she did it. She did it. She did it." She wasn't strong enough to do it. She wasn't. It just irritates the crap out of me. It just, ugh. So we're busy trying to identify who all the characters are by my little spreadsheet here. And then we're trying to find the murderer, and we're trying to investigate and question all the people, all the house guests and who they are. And we get 100 pages in, and we get new names added to our guest list. Like, oh, well, we didn't know that this person was there the whole time, and this is the first time we're talking about this person or something. So they added a few characters as we went along. But I just had so much. I guess my biggest problem was me having the biggest problem that Lady Darby wasn't strong enough. She wasn't a really good, forceful heroine. But we discover they questioned several of the people at the party, and they discover that the victim was very active in her bedroom with other partners other than her husband, because her husband is away in India or something like that. So she has these dalliances with all these other men, and she ended up with child with one of these men, and it was the father that killed her, and then he gutted her so he could find out what the sex of the child was. I mean, what's the point now? If it had been his son, you're SOL. Or even if it was a girl, you could still have heirs, whatever. But anyways, I just had so many issues. I mean, I took pounds of notes. It was a quick read. Sometimes Lady Darby spent a little too much time contemplating her own life and her own feelings and her own issues. So there was a couple of chapters entirely just to her walking around and thinking about this and thinking about that and contemplating this and contemplating that. But there was too many instances where the other house guests would gang up on her, and it just bothered the crap out of me. So I guess that's about it. I mean, they do question all the men, and they try to narrow down the suspects as to who potential father would be. And then they start pointing fingers 6 weeks to Sunday. Oh, well, maybe it's this one, maybe it's that one, maybe it's this one, maybe it's that one. And then Lady Darby gets really, really close to the suspect, and there's a twisty turny coming. There's a plot twist coming with this, because some people come forward. Oh yeah, I remember this from the other day, and that this from the other day turns out to be like yoo-hoo, yoo-hoo, flashing lights, flashing lights, flashing lights, flashing lights, warning, 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 warning. And so they go after this character, and it turns out, Lady Debbie's like, I'm not feeling it. I think we're wrong on this. But Gage is not there, and she can't question him, so she goes to do it by herself. And she ends up in a perilous situation. And she gets severely injured and hurt. So you'll have to read the book to find out what happens with that, and with who she was trying to save at the time, and who the killer is. We won't reveal all that. But just know that I don't know if I'll continue with this series or not, because like I said, I had too many issues with the heroine she was bullied too much, and she was cowering in the corner too much. I want a little braver heroine, like my Sky O'Malley in my Beatrice Small books. We'll have to do those this year. And maybe we'll start the Victoria Thompson Molly Brant books. Those seem a little bit better. we'll start those. And I gotta finish Patterson and the other lady I'm doing too. So, oh, and please check out Star Trek Fridays, which is used to be my highest rated videos. Now they're in the basement. They've been there for a month, like no one's watching. Flashback Mondays, where we check out, we're going into 2009 with Romantic Times Book Review Magazine, where I talk about everything in that magazine. It's so awesome. They review over 200 books a month. And please check out my brand new series, If Then, because I couldn't think of a better title. So I went with If Then. If you like this, you might like this one. If Then. So, we started out with Regencies. We're going to do some medicals. We're going to do some sci-fi. If you like this type of book, then you might like this type of book. So, If Then, a comparison, a recommendation, a similarity. How many hours you spend on the Facebook and Goodreads and so searching for like books. Oh, I found this author that writes really, really well. I want to see if there are other books like it. And you could I've been looking for 20 years for vampire detective books and I haven't found them yet. There's no one like Anita Blake and Tanya Huff's Blood Ties. Similar to Charlene Harris, Sookie Stackhouse a little bit. Those books are so hard to find. Most of the vampires are the angst. They want to be lovers. They want to be human again. They want to get cured. I don't want any of that crap. I want a good detective story with a little romance on the side. That's fine. A mystery story with a little romance on the side is fine. But straight contemporary romance, no way. I want no part of that. Give me a little mystery. Don't sit on my computer. I don't want to be cut off at 2:00 in the morning. So anyway, please check it out. The Economist's Wife. Please hit the like and subscribe. And if my computer monitor is moving, it's because my girlfriend here is rubbing her face all over it. Have a good day. Thank you.